Hi everyone, Adam with etrailer.com. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Fireside Pop-up Fire Pit. So this is just going to be great for a lot of the situations where you're going somewhere kind of off-grid and you want a lightweight little fire pit to be able to keep that fire going and also to keep it controlled. As you can see right here, we have a decent amount of leaves on the ground. It's kind of a little windy, so a controlled burn is definitely something I'm looking for here. And the good thing about it too, if you guys are at a campsite or something like that and you need to eat, everybody's got to eat, right? We have a couple different kits and also just sold separately some grates that we can put with this fire pit so we can cook too. So if it's just a little cold, it is kind of chilly here, especially when that sun goes down, it's going to get colder. We can heat up with this, but we can also heat up our stomachs by eating with it. So pretty much this is where I'm going to burn. As you see, a lot of scrubble and everything like that, but this fire pit honestly does a really good job of controlling that burn just so we're all safe. So as of right now, we're not going to be using, there is another fire resistant mat. That is mainly for your decks or patios if you guys plan on using it on a wooden deck or patio, even if it's synthetic wood. Regardless, there's another mat we can put down and that's just going to protect our deck or patio from any damage. Just to give you guys a size reference, look at this chair compared to the pit, pretty much the same size, if not smaller, so that's definitely a plus. But we are going to go over a more detailed installation later in the video, but what I want to do now is they claim that it's super fast to set up, so I want to check how fast. So what I'm going to do is start a timer and see how we do. All right, 1, 2, 3, start. Let's get her going. All right, hold that open. Grab this guy. Just like that. I'm gonna go ahead and grab all of our grates here. Just like that. Grab this guy. I am struggling a little bit because this fire mat is new, relatively tight. That's going to affect my time a little bit. Just like that. Insert that fire mat. Just like that. All right, all right. All right, all right. All right, we're pretty much done, and I'm about at 1 minute and 53 seconds. Not as quick as I was thinking, but at the end of the day, now we have a pit, and we're gonna have hours and hours of enjoying that warm fire. So let's get to it. Well, sadly, we're not cooking today. Obviously, that's what these grates would be great for. They got their own little carrying case too, and you can buy them in kits or just separately if you decide you want to start cooking on it. I've done it in the past, and it does have enough surface area to be able to cook for a family of 4, 5, or 6 even. Honestly, this is a pretty big grill, but like I said, sadly, we're not cooking. I'm hungry, but today we're just gonna go ahead and burn some wood. So we won't have use for this, nor these other rails here. So right now I'm just gonna be using this smaller wood. We're not gonna go over that weight limit of 125 pounds, but that goes also for your fire pellets, obviously your firewood, and of course your charcoal. So 125 pounds is quite a lot of weight, so even for your massive logs I think it'll be fine. But I'm just going to go ahead and build me up a nice little fire here. Nice thing about it is it's going to be really easy to get these going just because of the mesh. It just has a lot of air movement going, which is going to be great for getting the fire started. And also, if you guys are not in the woods and you guys are at an RV park of some sort, whenever I have a fire and it's super, super smoky, not everybody really loves that. I do, but not a lot of people do. So if you're in an RV park, it's actually going to be really nice just because all that airflow, a lot of oxygen, not much smoke at all. So it's going to be an extremely efficient fire, just so you won't upset your neighbors. So as you can see here, we don't have any smoke, which is awesome. Definitely great for those RVers out there. And there's going to be plenty of space. We're going to have about 24 inches by 24 inches of burn space. And of course that capacity of 125 pounds. So definitely going to be ideal. I have it hardly filled and I have plenty of heat. So if that's what you're using it for, don't worry about not having enough heat. Also, this thing does open up pretty big as you see here, but it condenses down more so than this chair that I'm sitting on. So it's going to be great for storing into your RV compartments along with your chairs. So it's not going to take up a whole lot of room. And when it comes to your RV, obviously we always have quite a bit of storage, and this being so small, it really takes up a fraction of the space that we have in our RV. So you guys don't really have to worry about finding a good place to store it because there's going to be plenty. Also underneath, I can't really feel any heat at all. So it's pretty much the same temperature as the air that I feel here. So the fire mat is definitely doing its job. So it's going to be great for even those tailgates that you guys may be having. Since it was so mobile and so small, you could fit it in the back of your truck or SUV, whatever you're using. And also you saw me just throw it over my shoulder and walk it back to our spot here. It's only about 8 pounds, so it's super light. So you don't have to worry about maybe carrying it if you're going miles and miles off grid. All in all, I do think it's pretty easy to either get food cooked or to get wood burnt. So let's just go ahead and show you guys how easy it is to assemble. So pretty simple. We have our bag here. It's going to be pretty much the same size as one of your folding chairs, so it's going to be really easy to store. And it's got everything you need to build a fire. So let's go ahead and clips this down. I'm going to start with our frame here, made of aluminum, very compact, and let's get started. So first things first, we want to grab it by the X brace is what I kind of like to call them. I'm just going to kind of go out like that. Pretty simple, straightforward, pretty solid. All aluminum construction. Step 2, we're going to take our ember guards here, and as you can see, we're going to have one side that's going to have a hole on it, just like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by putting one on one side, and we're going to put one on the other side parallel to it, and I'll show you why in a minute. So once we put that on, and that, and we'll put these guys on. So this is going to make it just easier for us to kind of empty this out once we have embers in it or coals or something like that, whether we're cooking or burning wood. So then this way we can go ahead and just take it all off at once and dump those ashes or anything like that. Next step is we want to take our stainless steel mesh here, and straight out of the box this is going to be extremely tight, but we want that. So to kind of help us get this into place, kind of put it on one side like you see me doing here. Again, going to be extremely tight. Might be a little tough to get on at first, but notice how I am putting it up at top first, because if we put them all the way down, it's going to be extremely difficult to get the last two into place. So kind of get that one like that, and our last one, slide it over. Perfect. So now we have that down. It's going to ensure that none of those ashes are going to fall through these seams, and even if we put a bunch of weight on it as well, we're not going to see this kind of cave in and see some of our ashes kind of going down. So that's good. The nice thing about this is it's going to have a lot of airflow, which when it comes to fire, more air means it's going to burn hotter, which means we're not going to have near as much smoke. So wherever you guys plan on taking it, it's going to be great. So next we're going to take our heat shield here, and the only thing we need to really think about when putting this on is there's going to be one side that has the straps exposed and the other side that doesn't. So we're going to have the side that doesn't facing up towards the fire because we don't want to burn these. And what we're going to do before we do that is grab some of the included locator dots here. And what we're going to do is put them about an inch below this point here. We're going to put that pretty much on the outside there on all four sides. And this is just going to ensure when we do put that heat shield on, it's going to stay about 4 to 5 inches underneath our steel mesh. So now we take the heat shield and we can kind of put it in here, however which way you guys seem to be the easiest. And what we're going to do is kind of going to take this on one side, kind of just wrap it around like so we can get on that strip, and then the rest of it we're going to put on the other side. I'm going to do that for all four sides. Now that that is all done, all we really need to do now is just kind of take your hand and kind of just fold it down a little bit just to give it that little kind of bowl shape. And so what's going to happen here, the good thing is this is going to kind of just protect anything underneath of it. It should be around air temperature underneath, so we shouldn't damage this table if we were to light up a fire. So this isn't only going to be just for burning wood. We can also do some cooking, which is pretty cool. There's going to be some options. We're going to have a quad fold and a tri-fold grate. The first thing we need to do before we get the grates on is, in the grate package, we're going to have about 4 of these. And we're going to have 2 of these. So what we're going to do, they're pretty symmetrical. We're going to take these just like so, and we are going to have a little threaded knob, so just kind of unthread that, slide it in just like that, and then once it's like that we can just go ahead and twist this up, lefty loosey, righty tighty, and we're going to do that same exact thing for the other one as well. Pretty simple, straightforward, awesome. Okay, now we go ahead and slide these on just like so. And we're going to do the same exact thing for the other one. So the quad fold is going to come in 2 pieces, and they are going to just fold out once, just one hinge. And the only thing we really need to think about when putting these down is we're going to have one side that's going to have these rods, and then the other side isn't. So those are going to be the side that we're going to put facing up, the one without those rods in there. And as you can see, the quad fold is going to stretch almost the entire length of the grill. Obviously we can fold it up if we don't need all that space, but the tri-fold grate is going to be one piece, and they are going to have the same hinges as you see here. The grate itself is pretty thick. It's not going to bend or anything like that, so you don't have to worry about it sagging over time. Well, everyone, we went over the whole installation process. It's extremely easy, extremely quick. We burnt some stuff. We didn't cook, but I can assure you I have before, and it tastes just as good as it would on your guys' charcoal or gas grill at home. But again, this was the pop-up fire pit, and I'm Adam with etrailer.com.